Well, well, well. Look who finally made it back from his Grand Enclave World Tour.
Somebody had to make sure the Commonwealth hasn't completely fallen apart.
Funny that you say that. While you were off inspecting depots and listening to officers' bark orders, I figured it was time we finally expanded the stage.
When the cat's away, the mice start remodeling.
Not remodeling, improving.
Every time you say that, something explodes, catches fire, or gets a neon sign.
Relax. Command signed off on this one. We brought in professionals.
Professionals?
Man, the best in the Commonwealth.
Now this, I have to see. I leave for a few days, and suddenly I need clearance to walk on my own property.
I said relax, Lil Prez. It's a hard hat zone. We got safety regulations.
Since when do you care about regulations?
Since Command hired Construction Pete.
Construction Pete?
The same.
Well, all right then. At least now I know the amphitheater won't collapse on somebody halfway through a show.
That's what I said.
How in the world did you get Pete on this job?
Caps, some building supplies, and one specific agreement.
What kind of agreement?
He gets to use the new stage whenever he wants.
For what? Construction seminars?
Maybe, but mostly for music and stand-up comedy.
Comedy?
Yep.
This was your idea, wasn't it?
Nope. This one's all Pete.
Pete wants to do stand-up?
Remember that night you stormed off and went to bed early before my set?
I remember listening to the whole disaster from upstairs. Yes.
Well, Pete was in the crowd that night.
Pete came to watch you?
That's right. He saw the whole thing.
Then I suppose he also witnessed you nearly bombing harder than a super mutant with a fat man.
Yet, somehow, I survived.
Debatable.
Pete told me afterwards that seeing somebody with absolutely no professional entertainment experience get up there and actually do it.
Loosely using the phrase actually do it.
Shut up. Gave him the idea to step up to the mic himself.
So because you had the confidence to publicly embarrass yourself, now he wants a turn?
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it.
And the other?
He figured if a Wasteland armor salesman can survive stand-up, surely a master builder can too.
That is disturbingly reasonable.
See? Inspiration.
I'm not sure that word means what you think it means.
Trust the process.
I hate when you say that.
Man, look at you. Back from your Grand Enclave tour and still somehow dressed like a Minuteman that got mugged by a filing cabinet.
And you still look like a used car salesman who robbed a Brotherhood supply crate.
At least my armor fits. You're one shoulder pad away from looking like a rusted out Protectron.
Funny, coming from the man dressed like Diamond City's least trustworthy merchant.
Least trustworthy? Brother, I'm charismatic.
You're the kind of man that'd sell a settler a left boot separate and call the right one special edition.
And you're the kind of man that gives somebody a speech about hope while standing in a rad puddle, while telling them that another settlement needs their help.
Hope is free.
Unlike this premium armor selection.
I see the Wasteland still allowing fraud.
Only the finest fraud. You ever think your little walk-off from my show was going to lead to all this?
All what?
A new amphitheater, a construction crew, and now Construction Pete trying stand-up.
I still can't believe a man who spends his days pouring concrete looked at your routine and said, yeah, I want in on that.
That's because you underestimate the arts.
No, I accurately estimate your influence.
Come on, admit it. My first set changed lives.
It certainly changed my sleeping schedule.
You really did storm off like an angry father.
I went to bed because I had heard enough damage done for one night.
And yet, here we are, another comic born from the chaos.
If Pete starts telling jokes about cinder blocks and load-bearing walls, I'm blaming you.
Brother, if he opens with a foundation joke, the crowd's gonna lose it.
I hate that you're probably right.
See? You're already learning comedy timing.
Don't push it.
Come on, we better get moving. Folks are gonna start showing up soon.
All right, let's go see if Pete can build a better set than you did.
Low bar. but I respect the challenge.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Construction Pete here, and I got some jokes for you tonight. I want to thank y'all for coming out. All the people that came out early, you know what? I'll even thank the people that came out late. Why not? You know what they say? The early bird gets the worm. Well, guess what? The second rat gets the cheese. All right, folks, let's get right into it. I got some jokes for you. Let's start off with this guy right here. What did the Brahmin say when it left the party? Brahm out. All right, you know, we're just telling jokes here, folks. Speaking of Brahmin, I had me a Brahmin steak the other day. It was so tough. How tough was it, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you how tough it was. That Brahmin steak was so tough, I had to ask the chef, did you actually cook Brahmin or did you throw old Ronnie Shaw up on the grill? Oh, folks, if you get it, you get it. You know that Ronnie Shaw, she is a tough gal. We like her. You know, all this is right off the top of my nugget. I'm just firing it out there. You know, my daddy always said I was bright. That's why he calls me son. Moving on. Anyway, I got some construction jokes. You like construction? You know what? Never mind. They're still being worked on. Anyway, folks, I was going to tell some jokes about getting laid off, but they never seem to work. Oh, folks, all right, let's wrap it up there. Well, you know what? Let's do one more joke. I got a joke about muffins. Y'all like muffins? Well, here's a muffin joke for you. Well, this one time, these two muffins are baking away in an oven, and they're cooking away, you know, and it's hot in there. Obviously, it's inside of an oven, you know, it's hot and it's all sweltering like. And they're cooking away, and at one point, the one muffin looks over and goes, whoo-wee, it sure is hot in here. And the other muffin snaps over and goes, holy crap, it's a talking muffin. Anyway, folks, that's my time. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thanks for coming out. I'm Construction Pete, and I'm moving on.